Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. Make sure to check in the description notes below the video where you will find links to all of my online shenanigans, including how to get my patterns to knit up for yourself, how to join the Watch Barbara Knit Facebook group, how to support me on Patreon, and how to get Watch Barbara Knit merchandise. Today, we are going to talk about something that's not very fun. We are going to talk about failure because that's where I am right now. And I took a pattern that I've been working on for a while and I blocked it last night and I took it off of the balloon this morning and it is not going to work. It is not going to be a pattern that I am going to be able to add to my portfolio, and it's frustrating. And I decided I wanted to share this sort of process with y'all so you can see that, normally all you're going to see are the things that make it into my portfolio, things that I think are going to be fun for at least some people who like to knit, things that I think will grab some people's imagination and all of those sorts of things. And what I wanted to do is show you and walk you through what has happened and let you know how I came to the decision that this is not a successful pattern, or I don't think it would be a successful pattern, and why I am not going to move forward with it. First, I want to share with you, it kind of seems like a tangent, but it's not, the yarn. I mean, the thing that disappoints me the most about the fact that this pattern is not going to ever be ready for prime time is that I really wanted to showcase this yarn. I wanted to showcase this dyer because I really like the dyer and I really like the yarn, and I like that they offer it in a slightly different put up, and I was excited to be able to share that with y'all and maybe help this independent business person do a little bit more business, because that's what this industry is all about uplifting each other. That is like 100% what my channel is about. And one of the main reasons I started it was to give me the ability to help promote other, people in our industry, because there's a whole bunch of people and there's a whole bunch of tiny fish like me just trying to make their way in this art form. So I want to show you the yarn real quick. This is actually a Seattle dyer, which I was like, I had all of this planned. I'm like, okay, the first pattern that I'm going to release after I've lived in the Seattle area is going to be a Seattle-based dyer, but alas, it did not work out. They don't know I'm doing this, by the way. I just bought the yarn. When I visited in December, when we were looking at moving, I bought the yarn. I visited this store and I bought the yarn, and the name of the dyer is Hazel Knits, and the yarn that I bought, this is Cadence, which is their worsted weight yarn. But the really cool thing about it is they offer it in like half skeins. These aren't mini skeins, they're half skeins. So it's 50 grams, approximately 100 yards. And because I always weigh before I get started, you can see that it was 61 grams and 57 grams is what I was starting with. And here are the colors. I really liked picking out these colors together. I thought the teal and the orange, I don't know why, just spoke with me. And it's funny because I've been sharing it on a couple bits and pieces of things on social media, and somebody made the comment, oh, this is going to be a great Halloween combo, and it is. So again, one of the reasons why I'm sharing this right now, this failure, is so that people are like, yes, that is a very cool Halloween combo. If I had thought when I was at, 2 months ago when I started designing this about Halloween, if I had enough forethought, I maybe would have tried to design something Halloweeny. But alas, again, this is just a whole series of things that just didn't quite work out. So this kind of beautiful tealy green color is Aquarius. and the other one is Mandarin. That's fairly obvious. You know, it's got that Mandarin orange, I assume, or could be a reference to like Mandarin in regards to a more of a Chinese kind of thing. I don't know. But beautiful yarn, worsted weight, works up and super great to knit. I thoroughly enjoyed knitting this piece. It just didn't fly. It just didn't work. So the piece is a hat. I wanted something that after I moved was going to work out, and so I could release it. And this is this orange and teal, and I have a hard time because I like talking to my thing. I'm trying to look at it on my screen to see. So it just didn't quite work out. So this is a slip stitch color work pattern. And it's okay. Me just holding it, thinking in your brain, what does it look like? What does this look like? And the thing is, as I've been knitting it, and other knitters have seen it, I've showed it to them unblocked and been like, what does it look like? And they're like, herringbone. And then I'd mention what it is, or at least what it's supposed to be, what I wanted it to be. And they're like, oh yeah, I can see that. You know, if you squint this way, you can totally see that. And I kept telling myself as I was knitting it that it would look better. I would take it and I'd stretch it with my hands. And I'd be like, it'll look better when it's blocked. It'll all come together when it's blocked. And it did not. So what it's supposed to be is little fish. It's little fish swimming up and little fish swimming down. I was going to call it schooling. The entire concept was I just moved to the Seattle area. The salmon are spawning right now. It was like this whole thing. And it's supposed to look like fish. And honestly, I feel like the ones going up did work. But it's the ones going down that get lost. They get, like, their little eyeballs get lost and it just kind of goes. And it looks kind of okay, flat like this, but here's the kicker. When I put it on, there, it's the ones going down. They just don't, it just doesn't quite work. It doesn't quite work strongly enough to be something that is going to grab someone's attention. And that, I think, is the crux. That is the tipping point in my decision to say, you know, this is not going to be a successful pattern and I shouldn't continue with it. And when I say successful pattern, I mean, is it a hat? Yeah, it's a hat. Is it on my head? Yes, it is on my head. Does it stay on my head? Yes. It stays on my head. It serves the purpose of what a hat is supposed to do. And in that way, it is a successful hat. But is it going to be a successful pattern that after I photograph it and I put it up on my website and on Ravelry, are people going to look at the photograph of it and go, oh, look at those cute little fishies. I want to knit them? And I really think the answer to that question is no. I think people will look at it and be like, that's just like a geometric pattern. And then they'll look at the name, because I was going to call it schooling. And they might be like, oh, yeah, I can see fish if you do it just, but that kind of uncertainty, I don't think is going to sell this pattern. I don't think it is going to grab people's imagination, and because there's so many different patterns that people have, different options that they have. I thought it looked like fish. I kind of went with the color scheme. I was even thinking about the goldfish, like the snack cracker, but it's the down ones. They don't do it. Now, the hat is entirely, see, you can really see it gets a little wonky right there. It ends up just kind of looking textured. The entire thing, and one of my goals was, it is slip stitch. It is not stranded knitting. That worked well. This is what the top, it's nothing. The top wasn't like the important part to me. So it's just a standard decrease with a swirl. So I don't know. This this is how much yarn I had left. Not a whole lot on the orange, on the mandarin, but a little bit more on the green. I was thinking about maybe making a pom-pom. I don't know if a pom-pom would bring a lot to the table, like a dark green pom-pom. And I might do that. As you can see, I literally just took it off the balloon this morning. And the thing is when I blocked it on the balloon, it looked even worse than it does here. I realized that I had blocked it too much on the horizontal axis and the vertical axis, and it had stretched it out to the point where you couldn't really see the pattern at all. So I then took it and I used a steam heat to get it to relax back down, and when it was hot, I stretched it vertically to get it, and that got it to the point it is here. And again, that is another reason I don't think that is a fair thing for me to do, that I manipulated it to the point that it looked better to me, but for me to set up a knitter, and I mean, it's like the instructions can't be step 1, wet block it like this, and then step 2, also steam block it like this to get it to look right. If you have to go through so many hoops to get it to look right, again, it is not a successful design as far as I'm concerned. You can really see it's just the down ones. They end up looking like little boxes. I don't know. So that is the hat. And you could say, wait a minute, it's completely knit, and maybe a few people out there might want to knit it, so you should go ahead and publish it. But the thing is, and again, I wanted to tell you the decision-making process here. I have finished the hat. It is done. Essentially, this is the pattern. This is me. This is the chart I made to work with. I randomly wrote some stuff. I wrote some notes. I crossed some things out. This is currently what state the pattern is in. So from this point, and then I also wanted to show you figuring out the head decreases, the crown decreases. This is what the chart currently looks like, because what it was is we repeated the same chart over and over. That's these rows between here, but then it needed to end in a nice way. So I had to add 3 extra rows to get it so that I wasn't starting, because what happens is the repeat chops each of the fish in half. So I had to do something. So I did that, and then I figured out the crown decrease and what I wanted to do. So like this is this over here. This is what the chart looks like. This chart is not ready for knitters. And so let me go back to here. This pattern is upside down. This pattern is not ready for knitters. So if I were, like my plan was, and my next step was, okay, next I have to go into my pattern template, and I have to write up the pattern in a really nice way that everyone can follow it. And that pattern drafting process, taking it from all of these notes and random charts that I've made into a finalized written pattern, that is going to take 2 to 3 days for me to do. Because, and some of that is like, just that's the amount of time it takes, but others is I have to write it, and then I have to step away from it for a while, and then I have to come back and look at it with fresh eyes to make sure I didn't really mess anything up. But yeah, for a hat, getting the pattern from this state to a, like my finalized pattern state is going to take like 3 days. And then I need to do the photography. I need to decide if I'm just going to photograph it on a head form, which I do have. It's up there somewhere. Or am I going to try to find a model? If I'm going to try to find a model, then I need to work with that model and figure out where we're going to shoot and set up a time to go do it. So getting the raw photographs would take another at least week to week and a half to get everything figured out. And then once I have the photographs, then I have to choose which ones are going to be the ones I'm going to use. And then I have to edit them. And so that's going to take another half a day just to do the photo selection and editing. Then I will put it into the pattern template. And once I have the pattern template with the photographs in it and all of the charts and written instructions, at that point, it then goes to a tech editor or two. It depends on what I decide to do. And I have to pay them to tech edit it. And they usually need at least a week just to put it into their system and everything. Even if it's short, I need to get on their list and I need to get in their queue or whatever you call it. So from this point, even though the hat's done, I have to write the pattern, do the photographs, run it through tech editing, and then it takes a solid day to get things set up on both my website and on Ravelry. And then I would need to do a pattern tour, which again takes like a day because it takes, X amount of time to film it. And then 3 or 4 times that amount of time to edit the video itself. So why I'm telling you all of this is what I had to do when I looked at how this came out and all the things I was telling you about how I don't think it's anything that's going to like super grab people's attention. I have to decide if it's worth the additional time and money investment to push it through to the end, to the publication point. And the answer that I unfortunately came to this morning is no. I really don't think that there are going to be enough people who want to knit this to justify the time and financial investment the rest of the process takes. And then a final consideration is when people go and look at my portfolio, when they look at all of my patterns available on Ravelry or on my website, is this a good representation of my design abilities? Is this something that when you place it in the whole context is going to be an additional plus? Like, I don't know if I'm making any sense on that one, but I like it. Do I like it? I mean, I'm disappointed that it's not what I wanted it to be, but it's fine enough. And I love the colors. Like, I totally love the colors and I love the yarn. It's not anything that anyone's going to ooh and ah over, right? And I want all of the things on my portfolio to have a reason why I feel they are worthy of being included in my portfolio. Self-editing is a really important thing and an important skill to have, because you have to be able to look critically at your own work and decide, is this good? But you know what? I can wear it. I can wear it, or my husband can wear it, or my son can wear it. I don't know. My son's head's kind of big. He might be able to wear it. That's another thing. What I haven't done yet, oh gosh. I just thought of it. I'd have to add another day to the pattern writing. It wouldn't be 3 days. It'd be at least 4 days, because I haven't graded this yet. Because I need to honestly figure out if this is a medium or a large, and I need to grade it. So the grading is going to take another work day. So that's just another thing. Okay. How long have I been babbling? Okay. So there we go. This is the hat that I have been working on in this gorgeous yarn that I absolutely adore. And if you wanted to do something Halloween-y, this is definitely a color. Again, it's Hazel Knits. I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what I want to do and what my first pattern published after I came to Seattle is going to be, because it was going to happen and now it's not. So we're going to try again. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything I've been talking about or any thoughts that I happen to have. If it sparked something in your brain, I love conversations in the comments or over at the Watch Barbara Knit Facebook group. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, click that like button. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.